Hi everyone, I'm Mo, and this is Dividend Dynasty. We are going through today's updates we made over the past week. There's been some very big changes, and because we're coding with AI, these changes that would have taken months or maybe years somewhere else, we've done in like a week. So let's get straight into it. Um, the first change that you'll notice is it's now a progressive web app. So since I've already installed the web app, you can see here in my dock, I've got a web app. And when I go to the site, the prompt for the web app usually comes up at the bottom of the screen, but I've installed it already and asks me to open the web app. I've got two versions. I've got the Safari version and the Chrome version. If I open the Safari version, here we are. It's going to show you that we have a responsive screen. So you can see here that this is all responsive as well. Might as well show you this while we're here. So we've improved the features section. There's now screenshots of the features. I've improved the walkthrough. There's more descriptive labels now of what the next steps are, and it walks you through the previous version. So we'll be updating this again to show the current version. We also have a news function where you can now subscribe to the news. Now this is very handy because you can subscribe to weekly updates, daily updates, anything that's about the stock market in general or about dividend stocks only. And if you're logged in, which I'll show you in a moment, there is some filtering you can do, which is quite advanced. So let's get into what it looks like in the web app. So this is the web app, and it's the same as before in a lot of these tabs, except it's mobile responsive, and the layout changes according to the screen size. But there is a big change here in the Analytics tab. So if we look at the Analytics tab now, we have a ETF NAV analysis, and you can expand out to see the NAV, how it's fared over the years or months, depending on what you've selected there in your chart. So it's that. There's also this AVWAP analysis, which is quite common these days. So I've brought that in here, and you can see the data and how it's trending. Or you can just look at the chart and you can change whether it's monthly, quarterly, yearly, or all time. So give you a fair idea of how things are trending on average. These are the same as before. I've made sure that they're a bit more accurate. In some cases, for example, it was multiplying this by 100, which was not correct, so that's now fixed. And related stocks are now at the bottom of the list instead of at the top or after the overview. This news function is the same. It's just showing you news according to the news of that stock, what's been reported about that stock or announcements about that stock. Notifications is the same. If we go into portfolio, we now have the diversification charts by sector or by symbol. These are responsive. If I reduce the width, you'll see this pops down underneath the title. The description is now listed. So when you go in here and you edit your portfolios and add a description, you can now view that description just underneath the chart. And this is, I think, the same as last time, but in case you haven't seen, we now have spark lines to show the 30 days trading what's happened over the past 30 days trend. And the table is now a bit more responsive. So if you're on a smaller screen, you can scroll back and forth. Oh, I hid myself there. Oops. If I go to watch list, same as before. So there's no big changes there. Calendar, there's some quite big changes there. We actually now have an export function for CSV and PDF. And you've still got your chart of what's happened with your payments, your previous payments. So if we go into here and export a PDF, it'll come up in your downloads, and you can see there, that's the PDF of what's happened over the months, which is quite handy if you want to take it offline or send it to someone. The calculator has been refactored. So the calculator now actually remembers your entries from previous sessions, whether you're logged in or not. So even if you're not a signed up user, if you come back to the calculator, it will remember what you've put into it. We've also added a tax rate field, so it'll factor in the tax rate. So if I put 5% and I add a stock of, say, 3M, confetti, yay. And I put 1,000 shares of 3M. If I go into the projections, you can see here it's actually showing you what sort of tax you'll be paying over time with a 5% tax rate as the value grows with reinvestment, which can be handy. And also in the table, it's showing you your tax, what you'll get after tax, the tax amount that you'd be paying. So that can come in handy. And we do have accurate currency conversion now as well. So that's also very good. Stock screener, we've implemented a stock screener, which is basically the trading view stock screener that people use usually for dividends or just in general. So if you come in here and just pick a tab, it'll show you the stock screener, and you can change your filters and change your columns. So we've implemented that just to see if it's of interest to people. If it is, then we will build our own version. But for now, if you like the stock screener, just go in and use it and let me know what you think. And we can see if we can apply our own one. And as I said earlier in the news, you have this preferences function, which is quite powerful because you can pick what type of news you want. You can switch off things you don't want to hear about. Like, I don't want to hear about growth, just want to hear about these things. Okay. And I want to hear from those groups. And if I want to narrow it down even further, I can click the portfolio filter and it will narrow it down to just the stocks that I have in my portfolios. So if I save that, it'll update what's available when I click this filter button. So I'll just bring it back to all because I actually want to see everything. So it's fine. We have an FAQs section now as well to help answer questions that you may have. And if there's anything missing, just let me know and I'll add it to the FAQs. But it really just depends on what comes through in our support pages. So if you log a support request and there's something missing, and I get that often, I'll update our FAQs. Also, there's a more detailed about page, and you can look at my background, connect with me on LinkedIn if you want to chat there. But yeah, it's just a bit more detailed than what you find on the public page. And in support and tutorials, we actually have a tutorial section now covering off all of the features of Dividend Dynasty. So if you're not sure how to use something, just come in here. There will be a video on how it works. And if you're really stuck, just contact me with a support form like usual, or report a bug if you find one. Something that I know is a bit of an issue, and this is an issue with progressive web apps in general, is the caching. So sometimes you might update your portfolio. It's an intermittent issue, so it doesn't always happen. But if you find that you're updating your portfolio and it's giving you a success message, but let's say the quantity or the cost basis hasn't changed, then the best thing to do is to close the browser and basically in Safari, or open it up in Safari, but clear your browser cache in Safari. Or in Chrome, same thing, clear your browser cache. When you open it up again, it should be fine. Even if you open it back up via the web app, it will update then. Sometimes it just gets stuck, and this is a common issue across web applications. It's less a problem on mobile, but if it is, just delete the bookmark and reinstate the bookmark for the web app, and it should clear everything. And that's it for today's update. If you have any questions, let me know in our chat. Just leave a comment, and yeah, like and subscribe if you haven't already. In our next two videos, we'll be covering off how I built the progressive web app, because it's a bit challenging to do that in Replit. And also, I'll be going over my testing of Tempo AI, which is very promising, but so far I've had mixed results. So we'll actually try it out live and record a session of trying to build something just to show you how it responds. So that's our next two sessions. So stay tuned. That should be coming up very soon.